Hello, everybody. We are those guys you hate.
Welcome to the show that encourages you to be your best self by not being like us.
My brother and I hopelessly search for nuance as we wade through wacky segments and crazy conversations.
If you can withstand the insanity, you might actually learn something.
Tyler, what are you going to be discussing on this week's episode?
Ryan, on this week's episode, empirical evidence that social media and porn will rot your brain. Sorry, internet. And is the sight of something majestic still majestic if it's found out to be a fraud? You decide. What about you, Ryan?
Tyler, I asked the question on this week's show, are microplastics the leaded gas of the modern age?
Ooh.
And I put Tyler in a no-win situation on the latest installment of Talking Morality with Tyler Menendez. So let's corner this mother effer. The world has changed, Tyler, but has parenting changed?
Yes.
Has it?
Yeah, we talk all the time about how parents these days, now that it's available to them, will just hand their kid a screen while they're at dinner instead of interacting with them.
Okay, but this is the way that I'm asking the question this time. Should parenting have changed? Should we be handling our kids in a different way? In a world where they have so much more ability to gather data. I think that's what changes these times. It's not even the technology. It's our ability to access data at any... There is no such thing as a bar fight anymore. We'll find out right now. Has that changed the way that we interact with our kids?
Absolutely.
And should it?
Screens have become the parents now, where instead of interacting with them and teaching their kid how they should behave in these certain situations, it's let's quiet them down and distract them with these screens. The only downside is that we are giving them a very serious addiction for the rest of their lives.
Well, I mean, that's the American way, isn't it?
I think it's the worldwide way right now. I don't think there's a whole lot of places that have access to this technology that aren't doing it like that.
Okay, that's an interesting concept. Now, my thought is kind of where I want to go with this information is, do we treat our kids more adult than we would have in the past?
No, I think it's the opposite.
You think it's the opposite?
Yeah.
We infantilize our kids even longer.
Well, I think we allow our kids to be kids. Never in the history, or at least of modern history, have children ever been allowed to be children for as long as they're able to these days. Back in the day, when you were a kid, the moment you reached whatever the age was, 10, 12, 15,
36,
you got to work on the farm.
Yeah.
You get out there, you plow those
better
fields.
Time. A better time.
Not for my arms.
People had character, and your arms would be jacked, pal.
They would be.
Tyler, put the oxen down and come inside.
That's what I'm saying is you had, that's why people had so many kids. A lot of them died when they were very young.
They got to run the store.
And B, you had to help on the farm. You had to help run the store, as you said. Kids don't have to do that.
You're
these
right
days.
about that. And you were like smoking at 10 and it was, listen, he's had
better time.
Honey, he's had a rough day. All right. So this is really.
You know he likes a cigarette with his coffee.
This milk is disgusting. All right. Here's the thing. I was in a. Well, before I drop this bomb here.
You led me up to let me down.
I know. It's kind of like a podcast and edging. So with my son throughout his life, because I have been so immature, because I was allowed to be infanticism.
I don't want to help you here because I don't know.
I was very immature when he was growing up. I've treated him like an adult for maybe too long in his life. I'm very honest with him. I don't hide many things from him, maybe in a way that's hurt him, but
Why? Why do you say that?
I don't know. This is kind of what I'm wondering. I'm about to give you two examples of parents that I'm thinking like, maybe this is too much.
Well, I think talking to your parent or talking to your kid in a mutually respectful way is incredibly healthy for them. You're teaching them respect.
For sure.
However, there are certain topics that you shouldn't go into. Sure, you shouldn't be discussing sex with your 6-year-old, you know?
There are often times where I'm with my son and I want him to watch a movie or to listen to a song, and maybe it's like right on that line. And I'm like, listen, you're a little bit older. I'm going to play this song for you. But remember, this is just art. This isn't blah, blah, blah. And I'll put it on and he will be like, Dad, you played this song for me 3 years ago. And I'm like, damn it. Why do I suck at this?
Did I give you the disclaimer then by any chance?
No, you were hammered. So I am in a sex store. What's your relationship like with a sex store?
I've only been in a couple times. I know. I've always wanted, and just to go in
interesting.
With friends, I've always wanted that experience to go in with a significant other and enjoy the perusing.
So nice.
Yeah, it's an aphrodisiac of sorts.
Oh, for sure. It's for foreplay. You're putting yourself in the mindset as you're browsing the dirty VHS tapes.
Really showing your age. Not to brag or anything like that, but I have really put myself in some extracurricular sexual situations that I think the average person has not. I've really explored that. That is one of those that I think the majority of people have, and I have not.
Yeah, because it's not necessarily a sexual situation. It's in preparation for a sexual situation.
Oh, yeah, and I'm not judging.
Sure.
I'm not judging. It's something that I would like to experience.
It's great. I'm a huge proponent. But I'm in the sex store. I see a couple with their kid. Now, I am open to talking about sex, not unlike what you discussed.
How old are we talking
I'm thinking 4. I'm bad at this game.
Yeah, no. Like, I was going to say if it was like a baby, like the baby's not making memories, who cares?
The kid was walking by himself.
No.
And now again, sex is a natural thing, but is it, a heart-shaped jewel butt plug?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's inappropriate.
So I had to put it back. Okay, so I agree. I didn't feel great about that one. And as I'm walking out and I'm looking at this kid and this kid's looking at me and I'm like, this is not good.
Why are we making eye contact?
This is not
right
good.
now?
And why are you smoking a cigarette, dude? Back to the farm. All right. And also to finish this off, maybe I could use different terminology.
Yeah.
Not me. Of course.
Of course not.
But a friend of mine was in one of these weed stores, okay?
Okay.
Not me. This was passed on to me.
Somebody else.
It wasn't me, okay?
You're the grapevine right now. I'm hearing it through you.
Oh, yeah, like the California raisins.
Yeah.
We have the same type of skin.
Gotcha.
All right, guy brings in his 6-year-old to the weed store. What's your thoughts on that?
That one's a little bit more tough because porn is something you do privately. Like
not necessarily.
Well, you know what I mean. Like when people watch porn, generally speaking, you do it within the confines of your bedroom. It's a very private thing. With things like alcohol and marijuana, you're more open with it.
Especially now that it's legal.
Absolutely. And I don't think there's anything wrong with going in to a 7-Eleven to buy a 6-pack with your kid in tow. You're just picking something up as long as you're not drinking them on the way home. So I don't see necessarily the problem with it, but I will admit, there's something within me that says, ooh, that's a bit icky. I don't know why.
I think that I kind of feel that way about the 6-pack as well. Again, that's not wrong and that's not morally reprehensible, but then the next step on that is somebody who goes to a bar with their kid and sits their kid like at the table behind them.
That's not okay.
That's a different thing. Yeah. So, and from what was told to me, this kid pulls out a Nintendo Switch. He's so used to being there. He's got the video games. He knows what to do. I mean, that's standard.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go so far as to say he's so used to being in that weed store that he brought a Switch. Maybe that kid just brings a Switch with him everywhere. Kids have, I used to bring my Game Boy with me to places.
And then...
Oh, there's more.
The dad takes the Switch. The dad takes the Switch and he starts playing the fucking video games. And I'm like, motherfucker, you bring the fucking game. Well, not me.
Well, I was going to say,
No, it wasn't me. But when I heard, I was so overwhelmed. Yeah. That is bullshit. That is morally reprehensible. And that is wrong.
Did he leave the kid there to stew? Or was he like showing him the screen? Were they in it together?
No, the kid was leaning. Again, it's weird that I asked that exact same follow-up.
Yeah,
the kid was just very accustomed to being Luigi, and Lord knows I know that feeling. That is wrong. That is Tyler. I am Ryan. This is Those Guys Who Hate Tyler. How are you doing? I wanted to punch that dad right in the ear. That's fucked up.
After you heard about it, obviously.
I wanted to drive over there and hope that he just happened to still be there.
Yeah.
Like he's playing like Legend of Zelda or something. He's got to sit, you know?
Game. I totally get it.
Yeah. Tyler, what's going on, brother? Welcome to another episode of Those Guys You Hate.
Those Guys You Hate.
All one word?
Yes. I'm doing well. It's another week. You know, summer has just started, which comes with, schools are out. So that comes with much less traffic on a normal basis, which is wonderful. Unfortunately, it also comes with melting in your car because it gets so hot. Why are we breaking records every year? We are breaking heat records every single year. I'm sorry for yelling. It's just scary to me.
We are the Usain Bolt of death over here. And I hear that Phoenix is doing just fine.
No.
I hear Texas is nipping at our heels.
Nevada, Death Valley, kind of hot.
Why didn't you mention that in the name, guys? All right, Tyler, I get really just angry when people don't tell me where I'm going in the name, and we'll talk about it on the Depression Index. I feel like I could have done that better.
No one cares.
What the Depression Index is, it's a segment where we recognize our faults. We say, that's okay, we'll do better next time, and we let that shit go, Tyler. And we talk about how we're feeling that week, and we talk about social, mental health, which is a foundational part of this show.
Correct.
And the other one makes fun of it, while the other one's in pain, generally. So, Tyler,
My favorite part.
how are you doing this week, buddy?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm learning the ramifications of, as I age, if I don't continuously work out and I don't stay on top of it.
Why are you talking like that?
Because I had to burp, but I don't want to do it in the microphone.
Okay.
As I work out and I try to get stronger and healthier, and I get to these different points.
Tyler's not wearing sleeves, by the way.
On that journey. Yeah.
Please go into social media and check out the guns because they are looking healthy. You are looking good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're covering yourself.
Thank you.
No, you look good.
I just went for the joke. And I realized, and I don't remember it ever being this way, that even if I take like a week off, it's so much harder when I go back in.
Sure.
It's so much harder.
Muscle memory, man. Yeah.
But have a better memory, please.
As you know, your memory deteriorates as you age.
Yeah.
It's harder to get back to where you were. You know, everybody knows that.
It's true. So I'm just trying to stay on top of it. And it's one of those things where I could see like my eating slipping just a little bit, although I'm still eating much healthier than where I was prior. I really just want to maintain. I want to stay on top of it. I need to keep pushing myself to do better.
It's not easy.
It's not
easy because what you're talking about is not a diet. It is not this exercise idea. It is a life. It is a lifestyle that you're signing up to. And everybody knows who listens to this show, and hopefully that don't. Life is filled with ups and downs, man. You know, when you know, hey, I'm doing great right now, you know there's going to be a time that's going to come up when you're a little bit down, and vice versa.
Definitely. And for me, and my theme of this week, I guess what would be the easiest is I started taking my the stand-up classes again.
Yeah.
And it is such a weird relationship that I have with this because there is something within me that feels the need to do this. Like, I have to join these classes. I have to do stand-up.
It's something you want.
It is, but at the same time, whenever I'm going through it, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
It's poisonous in your life. And that's the most important. I know it's super cliche, but that is the lesson.
I know, but it's like a tattoo where, like, as I'm getting it, I'm like, this is terrible. It hurts, and I'm in pain, and this woman is watching me cry. Why am I doing this?
It's like the strip club all over again.
And then as soon as it ends and I get in front of that mirror and I look at myself and I go, fuck yeah, you did that and you look awesome. That's how it is with the relationship I have with this class. And right now I'm doing the crying in front of the woman.
Sure.
And then as soon as it's over, I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and go, fuck yeah. You did that.
So my question to you is, and we touched on this in the kitchen when we were doing the pre-show meeting that I call our life.
Yeah. That's just me getting a banana from the kitchen.
The idea is that you and I go, I'm dealing with what you just said. I'm dealing with that with the yoga thing. I really am struggling because I believe a part of me really, really wants this, and another part of me thinks I don't deserve this. And I think there are a lot of people out there that don't know what that means or what the point of me saying that is, but I think you and I specifically do.
Yeah, well, you're either somebody who can relate to that completely, or you're somebody you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's
If
like
you want it, then you
wipers,
want it.
yeah.
Yeah. That's always your go-to.
I just think it sums things up so quickly.
Ryan's example is always sitting wipers versus standing wipers, and the two don't know that the other exists.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I think my point stands. Yeah, but go on.
Yeah, no, so it's one of these things where I guess I just keep doing it until I find joy throughout the entire process. I don't know what the end result is.
I'm not sure that will ever be your process.
I don't know. You think I'm just going to be in this much pain forever as long as I do it?
I think that there's the thing that thinks that you don't deserve that needs to be let go. And I don't mean that in some metaphorical way. I mean that in a physical, biological kind of way.
No, and I agree. I think through practice and doing this again and again and again, I will acclimate to it.
Sure.
And
I agree with that.
And instead of the pain, I can find some sense of joy in the process.
I love it.
Yeah. So
acclimate, great word.
Yeah.
Love an acclamation.
Love a good acclamation. So this week, I will say that I am at a neutral 5.
All right, Tyler.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, baby. All right, let's gay it up, Tyler. And what that means this week is I am going to talk to you about something that we discussed in that same conversation. And maybe it's a shameful admission. I don't know, but it is a true admission. I don't feel safe, Tyler. What? I don't feel safe in a emotional sense, which then responds in my body like a physical sense.
Sure.
Does anybody listening to what I'm saying know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. You're not
You think so?
You're not alone, man. Of course. I'm pretty confident in saying almost any feeling you have, any fear, any eccentricity is shared by a lot of people.
Definitely my kinks, because those Reddit forums are a poppin'. This is not the time for that.
That was a weird turn you just did. Yeah.
I'm just very uncomfortable, Tyler.
Yeah, you just did another 360. You're back
Always.
right to where you were.
And I want to go that way.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I mean. Okay, I'm going to use an example that I've used on the show a million times, and I've really come to think about it in the last week. A huge trigger of mine is when I'm at the gym and somebody stands in between the mirror and me, especially if there's plenty of places to choose from and you consciously or subconsciously chose that one. I don't want to call it a ridiculous thing to be upset about, but one that really isn't going to change much of your life. It attacks my ego. I think in my mind, I think, maybe I'm misjudging this. Am I not important enough for you to not see me here? I go down this realm of whatever the F that is. Okay. So my ego is now being attacked, whether it is or it isn't. That's the story I'm telling myself. My body reacts as if somebody is physically attacking me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would not understand that connection.
I think that a lot of people experience it and don't know what it actually is.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. A lot of people are experiencing it.
clear.
Whether they know it or not is a different story.
If you say out loud, because this is something that has been peddled more often, so many people are in a fight or flight state at all times.
Yeah.
Truly, your body is reacting as if... This is what I came on this show and talked about.
Adrenaline, baby.
And I had said it before, but I don't know that it fully, trickled down economied into my soul, which is trauma is going through some extreme situation, leaving where you feel in danger in some way, leaving that situation and your body never understanding that it's over. So that is, let's say, open inside of you. So nonetheless, when somebody stands in front of me at the gym, it attacks my ego, which makes me feel as though I am being attacked. I feel like I'm not safe at all times. And I have really been playing with that idea this week of telling myself, you are safe. You are safe right now. Whatever you're going through right now inside of you, it's a million things. I'm not even going to try to figure out what it is. You're safe right now. Whatever's happening is in your mind and everything's cool. Go ahead and experience it, but you are totally safe. What do you think about that approach?
Yeah, it's parenting yourself. It's the strategy that we talk about all the time.
Okay.
It's you talk to that side of yourself as if it's a young child, and then you
I need
let
a
it know it's
babysitter.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you have to be your own babysitter.
Better help come and fix me.
Yeah.
And my last thing that I'm going to ask, which I would say, because you've hipped me to so much of this, you have told me myself Ryan, we did not have a normal upbringing, which I was blind to. Everybody thinks their upbringing is the standard. Where did we accrue this unusual trauma that has affected us in a way that it doesn't seem, everybody's got their own problems, but I don't meet a bunch of people that are going through what we are going through.
Well, we all experience it in different ways.
Ours is better or worse?
Well, probably worse.
Which is better in this scenario? Because that's what we got.
I'm not sure how to answer that question.
Okay, we'll circle back.
Yep. You just gave me a lot. To work with. In terms of like where it happened, I think, well, first of all, so much of trauma is derived from our parents. Just as a whole, as a species, the majority of our trauma is derived from our parents. That's because that's who we grew up with.
Or just whoever's raising you when you're a child.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But I mean, the majority of people are raised by their parents.
Agreed.
Or a parent.
Agreed.
And so it's impossible not to offset some of your trauma as a parent onto your child. It comes naturally to us, and so they learn it.
And you've been raised in that environment, generally speaking, so it's not just like it's a learned behavior, and it's like almost like a genetic behavior. You're predispositioned to a lot of these things.
Not only that, but it's the way that kids learn, because obviously when we're babies, all the way up to whatever the age is, we're not learning by our parents looking at us and going, okay, this is how you do this. We don't even know how to speak English yet.
Yeah.
So
it's your environment.
So it's the environment, and it's all the subtle little facial expressions and mood and behavior. Little tiny kids pick up on all this stuff. And so when you're going through severe anxiety or depression, your kid's learning that shit.
Yeah, I agree. And it's the way that you handle problems. They are taking all that in a way that neither of you know.
Oh, yeah.
So
if you're in a household where the parents are fighting all the time and they're just jumping down each other's throats, think about what you're teaching your kid in that, you know?
And if you're driving around texting, they're learning that shit too.
Oh, yeah. Fun to do, though.
So, man, I am really good at it. I don't want you guys to do it, but I'm good. If you saw me doing it, you'd be like, you're fine. It's
Nary a typo.
Now, listen, son, if you start practicing now. So, yeah, I've been playing around with that. And what I've noticed is we can't go any further with this. We're way too long on Depression Index. Can you communicate with your subconscious by using words?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? So it just sounds so not right, but I believe it is so. So to everybody listening to my voice, you are safe. You are safe right now. Go through your body. See if you're protecting yourself physically. I genuinely mean that. You are safe. Hopefully.
You are safe. Except you, Derek. He's right behind you.
Shut this off and deal with that. Everybody else, you're loved and you're safe.
You're good.
This week, oh, Derek. This week,
he got him. He's dead.
I am at a 4, Tyler. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you know what? I'm probably at a 5. I just didn't want to do
You're
that.
a bastard.
Tyler, I just did not want to do that thing.
I was so ready.
I did not want to do that thing. And please notice that I went through my depression index this week without using the Y word, Tyler. I did not say
YOLO?
Yeah, that's basically how Tyler. How are you this week? YOLO, bitch. Oh, man, Tyler's always so good. All right, let's take a break.
What's the Y word?
Yoga.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I really should have gotten that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my fault.
Yeah, yo. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with an oof. We'll come back with Ryan's Vault of Sound saying goodbye to a legend, and we'll have some fun.
Hey, everyone. If you're anything like us, you struggle with depression, anxiety, isolation, or any number of things that hold you back in life.
Or do you procrastinate a little too much? Maybe you've had trouble with self-control or even just going through a tough time. Regardless of whatever it is you're going through, therapy can help.
For me, Ryan, it's completely changed the way I deal with my problems. Even the relationship with my own thoughts have improved dramatically.
And that's why we're excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp.
BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. And this is so important to us because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area.
BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you up to a professional therapist in as little as a few days.
It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. Go to betterhelp.com/thoseguys or click on the link in the show's description. Clicking on that link not only supports us, but supports you.
And we want to support you too by giving you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp to connect with a therapist and see if it helps you.
Finding the right therapist is so important, someone that you really connect with, and BetterHelp has made that easier than ever. switching therapists until you find the right one without having to worry about insurance or any additional fees.
You know, Tyler, when I first had my son, I felt so many emotions that I had never experienced in my life. Therapy really helped me figure out what was going on.
Well, that is betterhelp.com/thoseguys. Help the show by supporting the people that help us.
Those guys.
Birds do it. I'm not saying that it is wrong.
They seem pretty smart.
Yeah, bird brain. That's what you call somebody when you want to. Wise as an old owl.
And
there.
you want to insult somebody, you call him Einstein. It's calling him a human being is the biggest insult to their intelligence. Bird brain, I say we make it a positive.
You hate.
I know that you're wrong, but I can't figure out how to argue against what you just said.
So I think that technically makes me right.
I think you're right here. Woo! I'm bowing out respectfully.
Those guys, you guys.
The rainy time of the year.
I really don't mind this weather at all. I like it if I'm staying inside. It's what comes after the build up.
What comes after?
Hurricanes, like a hurricane hits us. Yeah. All right, sure.
I mean, it's
Very nonchalant.
I've lived down here my whole life. I don't worry about hurricanes. There's only one that I've ever. Here, go ahead and roll.
We're still rolling. I don't turn it off.
Oh, this is super awkward.
I don't turn it off.
I don't want people to see what I'm like behind. Hey, guys.
Your flippant attitude about hurricanes is off-putting.
There's only been one hurricane in my whole life that I've ever been afraid of.
Zeus is going to smite us for
please.
your
I don't even
attitude.
believe in Zeus.
There's thunder right now.
No, there was only one. There was that one.
You mean Andrew?
No, Andrew. I was so young that I thought it was cool. I remember sleeping in our living room, and that addition to the house was not built well. Why were we sleeping in there? That was terrible. But I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I got off of school. There was one hurricane that was like in Texas, and if there was a category 6, it would have been a 6.
Oh, yeah.
It was the finger of Zeus himself.
Is that the one that wiped out Houston, right? Or it plowed through Houston and flooded the whole area?
I believe so. So
yeah.
we ran to Orlando. It's the only time I've ever left for a hurricane. It was, and my son's mom didn't want to leave. Oof, that was pretty tough.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
Speaking of oof, Tyler, you do a segment that's named oof. I mean, it's just a segue. I don't know. I'm leaving it out there. Take it, Tyler.
You're absolutely nailing these
I'm
segues
on top of it.
today.
I can't do everything.
Yeah. There it is. Yes. Oof. We have a segment on this show. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome, you
Howdy.
sexy bitch.
Welcome to the Menendez family.
It is a segment where if something happens, which is it's just something that makes you say, oof, something shameful, something embarrassing, something ridiculous.
As the kids would say, it is cringy. We cringe for thy.
That's right. Cringe for thy. Well, Ryan, for this oof, we are going to China. Don't censor us, China. Don't censor us.
Well, wait a minute. If this is an oof, this is probably going to paint China in an unflattering light.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's kind of
go ahead and censor
It's
us.
wacky. It's wacky. The oof is not a place where we talk about serious things, so you don't have to worry, China. I'm not going to talk about the genocide that you're running right now against Uyghur Muslims.
Luckily,
Yeah.
they do seem like a playful bunch, so I think this should be fine.
I mean, their leader looks like Winnie the Pooh. I mean, he's likable.
I'm not doing this.
Oh, why? They don't listen to us.
I would like to see him in a shirt and no pants, though. That would be pretty kick-ass.
Which never looks good, ever, on a man.
Hard to be masculine in that scenario with your dinghy out.
Your dinghy, he says. So we're going to China, and it is the highest natural waterfall in China.
In China,
The Yuntai Sky Fall, which is just over 1,000 feet, which is classified as China's highest tourism site. It's a beautiful site. If you look at the photos,
I would assume it'd be the Wall of China.
it's a what? No, it doesn't. That doesn't go up 1,000 feet.
Oh,
It's
highest.
the highest.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, the highest. So it's about 1,000 feet up, and it's, according to the photos that I saw, it's a beautiful site.
Love a waterfall. Love
And
a waterfall.
The water cascades down. The wind brings it across the plains.
Beautiful. It's a natural beauty.
It's beautiful. Well, some hiker decided to fuck it up.
Okay.
He hiked.
Was he Chinese?
Of course. Yeah. He was a resident there.
They're usually, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but very respectful. They stay after baseball games to help clean up and shit.
No, well, that's Japan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's Japan. But you're misunderstanding. I don't mean that he messed the waterfall up. I'm saying that he got rid of the allure of the waterfall because he hiked to the top of said waterfall and found that it wasn't actually a waterfall. They had installed a pipe at the top of the rocks.
Wait a minute. Isn't that how a waterfall works? I've seen Mario.
And he took photos of it and posted it to TikTok.
Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
And it's just a giant water pipe that is just shooting water over the top of what should be a dry mountain.
Okay, here's the thing. You're getting a waterfall when you wouldn't normally get a waterfall.
Agreed.
And you're complaining.
I'm not complaining, but that's what I said in the intro. Is it still majestic if the majesty has been broken?
Sure. You know what? I hate to tell you this, but that's not really Cinderella's castle.
No,
Tyler.
that's bullshit.
It's not really Cinderella. No, but that is very interesting. So they thought of this and thought, you know what we need? We need a waterfall around here.
Yeah. Let's make this dry crevice the tallest waterfall in our land.
I don't hate it. I don't know. Is that a noof or is that a congratulations?
Well,
I'm not sure.
It's a bit embarrassing, right? It's a fake ass waterfall.
I'm trying to work through my feelings. I don't know. I really don't know.
That's like when you asked me about the kid in the weed store. I'm really not sure how I feel about
Exactly.
this.
It's pushing on something that I know kind of isn't right, but I can't figure it out.
Exactly right. That was perfect phrasing. So I will say it's still technically a waterfall. So China, you're only getting a single,
a little baby oof.
just one. If we were talking about that genocide, I'd give you the 3, but we're only talking about the fake waterfall.
We are not.
We are not.
Which we are not.
We are not. We are not.
All right, Tyler, normally you're the person who heralds people, but normally you wait until they die, which is very strange. I want to do this while this person is living a legend in his game, but I'm doing it on Ryan's Vault of Sound.
Ryan's Vault of Sound.
Tyler, who is the best game show host of all time?
Oh, my goodness. That is... And I know where you're going with this, but I would have to say Bob Barker. He's only because he's during my childhood when I would skip school, I'd go home, turn on AOL dial-up and put on The Price is Right. And he would just be there to comfort me every day.
He's a great one.
While I did not get an education.
Alec Trebek, of course, is up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that guy from Family Feud that used to kiss people on the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah.
Don't trust that guy.
No, he was always kissing everybody on the mouth, except for the dudes.
Yeah, which is very suspicious.
Really
what are you
unfair.
trying to hide, my boy?
Yeah.
But I am talking about one that I truly love, Pat Sajak.
Yeah.
Been doing it for a long time.
Decades.
Seems like a genuinely pleasant man, an intelligent man.
Very intelligent.
And just kind, and they tried to get rid of Vanna White, and he said if she goes, I go, so she has stayed as a fixture on that show. Just seems like a beautiful thing to do. Pat Sajak, you a fan?
Of course. Yeah, he has made very, very rare, but he has made appearances on our favorite podcast, The Dan Le Batard Show, and every time he comes on, he is always just a joy to listen to.
Super playful and very intelligent, quick wit, self-deprecating, but in a way that's pleasant, not in a way that's, you know, over the top.
Yeah, I was going to say he's very intelligent, but does not take himself seriously in any way.
He doesn't wield it in that way at all. So I want to say, Pat Sajak, thank you. I love Wheel of Fortune. I love Jeopardy, staples of my life, much like many people my age and older and younger, I'm sure.
We haven't said it yet. For those of you who may not know, Pat Sajak is retiring.
Oh, forgive me.
After decades of Wheel of Fortune work. Yeah.
Tonight is his last night.
Yeah.
So on that note, I want to play a clip.
Man, the nerves of being a contestant on the last show.
Fuck it up.
You better get it right.
So here is a quick clip from 2 weeks ago on The Price is Right as a farewell. And you know who's taking over?
I do not.
Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, wow. I think he'll do a good job.
I think he's pretty good.
He's enjoyable.
But will he be able to do this?
Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares.
Right in the butt.
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah.
Much better answer.
Right in the butt, Tyler.
Right in the butt, but the word was this. The first word was this. So he not only got it wrong, he got it wrong by adding an extra letter.
It was just wrong on many different levels.
Yeah.
I'm going to play that one more time. What I want you to focus on here is not only his confidence in saying it, not only the woman being totally shocked.
Yeah.
It is an older, heavy-set black woman, which really, I think, frames her perfectly. And finally, Pat Sajak's disappointment.
I was just going to say, he sounded like a disappointed dad.
Yeah, just like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
We trained for
You're
this.
better than this.
Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares.
Right in the butt.
What?
No.
No.
I can't imagine why he wants to get out. You know what I mean? That is crazy. That is nuts.
Sounds like he's sabotaging himself.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
We got to get this guy back on.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So, Pat Sajak, we bid you adieu. You were awesome. Fantastic. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's take a break, and we will come right back.